All right, what's going on, everyone? Good morning. We're here on Saturday to discuss the Friday, July 9th MLB games. We got 15 of them. We're still doing those early mornings, even though it's Saturday, 5:45 here on the West Coast. Just want to pump this out. It's going to be quick because I do have some meetings to go through today for some other things, so I want to just jump into it. Not a whole lot off the field to talk about, so we're just going to jump into on the field. We're moving into the last series leading up to the All-Star break. All-Star break's early next week, and all these teams trying to make some moves prior to the All-Star break, make some ground, make their leads bigger in divisions, and there's a lot of trade bait being thrown around, so we'll see if we can touch on some of that. First game of the night, really it was in the afternoon, as the Cubs like to do. Cubs 10, Cardinals 5, and the Cubs losing streak a little bit in their rearview mirror, and they're using the Cardinals now to hopefully boost their overall position in this National League Central. And last time these two teams met, the Cubs really handled them. So Cubs looking to do that again. They're up 10-2 heading into that last inning, and the Cardinals added a couple of runs to make it a little more respectable, but still at the same time, they're a long ways out. Pedersen goes 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Wisdom hitting his 12th home run of the season, and for the Cardinals, DeYoung hitting his 11th. LeBlanc only goes 3 earned runs, 1 K. So LeBlanc's kind of been a filler for the Cardinals lately, eating up some innings, not going too deep at all. Hendricks, after missing the All-Star break, a rough start to the season, 6.1, 2 earned runs, 1 K, making a name for himself. He's now 11-4 on the season. Big win for the Cubs, trying to turn things around. White Sox 12, Orioles 1, and believe it or not, the Orioles had a lead in this one, 1-0 going into the third. White Sox tied it up, taking a quick lead in the fifth, and then just starting to pile it on once the bullpen came in. Urias, the solo home run for the Orioles, his 4th of the season, and Sheets, his 3rd, Engel, his 4th, coming from the White Sox side. Jorge Lopez goes 4, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, so he was doing all right. Short outing, of course, and then the bullpen comes in, and as we can see, they just get piled on. Keuchel goes 7, 1 earned run, 3 Ks for a great outing from Keuchel. He's now 7-3 on the season. The White Sox roll, and they're probably going to roll through the rest of the series. Indians 2, Royals 1. This one was a walk-off home run coming off the bat of Bradley. I think it's back-to-back games now the Indians walked it off. I can't remember if they walked off yesterday or the day before, but I believe it's back-to-back days. Big win, turnaround this series against the Royals is important to the Indians to maintain pace, at least in this wild card situation. Home runs coming from Jorge Salah for the Royals, his 7th of the season. Cleveland was at 1-0 early. Royals did tie it up top of the 8th, blown save going to Class A, his 3rd of the season, and his 2nd in as many weeks, really. On the other side, Keller goes 7.2, 1 earned runs, 9 Ks. This has got to be Keller's best start of the season, with an ERA of 5.97. He really did a lot to help that out. But the Royals fall short, and the Indians pick up a much-needed win. Mets 13, Pirates 4. This game was actually fairly close, 2-2, until we reached this bottom of the 6th inning where Lindor included a grand slam in it. They put up a 10 spot in that 6th inning. Pete Alonso also had a nice home run, and Villar had 2 home runs in this game. Put him up to 8, Alonso 16, and Lindor is up to 10. Lindor still, even though he had a grand slam, is still batting .221. He only had 1 hit in the game, and it was that grand slam. Castro for the Pirates hits his 1st of the season. Brubaker goes 5, gets charged with 6 of the earned runs, all coming in that same inning. Believe it or not, he didn't get out of the 6th, obviously. He was a big part of that inning. Taijuan Walker goes 5, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks, and it looks like picks up the no decision in this one because all those runs come piling in that 6th inning a little bit too late. Rays 7, Blue Jays 1, and I was really hoping that the Blue Jays would be able to pile on how they did against the Rays last week. Manoah was looking fairly good. Like, he had a little bit of issue, hit a couple batters that ended up getting him into trouble early and got him bases loaded and pulled out of the game in that 4th inning. The Rays were down 1-0, but then immediately in the bottom of the 3rd put up 2 of their own and then just started adding runs here and there, which ends up making a difference. No home runs at all in this game, which between these two teams is a little bit surprising. They both are known for some long ball power offenses. McClanahan goes 1 earned run, 5 Ks in the no decision. Manoah goes 3.2, 2 earned runs and 9 Ks. It was a good outing, but he struggled at times. 88 pitches in those 33.2, and the Blue Jays, this is a tough loss because they're slowly falling further and further behind Tampa, who's in second and holding onto a wild card spot, and Boston, who won, and we'll get to that right now. Red Sox 11, Phillies 5, and the very beginning innings of this game were a lot of offense. Phillies put up 3 in the first 2, and Boston put up 5, but then in the third, Boston added another 4 to give them a 9-3 lead, and they didn't really have to look back after that. Got out of hand as much as 11-3 at one point. And Boston side, everyone's getting multi-hit games. Essentially, their whole lineup, they have 6 players with multi-hit games. Arroyo, only guy without a hit, 0 for 5 in this game, so he's going to be left out a little bit. Kike Hernandez, his 11th, J.D. Martinez, his 18th, and Devers, his 22nd home runs of the season. On the other side, the Phillies fall short and get nothing. Garrett Richards goes 5, 304 Ks. It's a nice win for Richards, and he at least is eating up some innings in this. And Velasquez, we see the bad side of Velasquez in this one, 2.18 and 2 strikeouts, 5.35 ERA now. Velasquez 74 pitches to get 7 out, so that's over 10 pitches an out. It's not going to get it done definitely against an offense like the Red Sox, and the Red Sox are rolling on top of the American League East. Braves 5, Marlins 0. Braves are now 1 game to 500, and that's been the staple of the season, that they get to right around 500 and then they go on a little bit of a losing streak. Maybe the Marlins are just what the doctor ordered. They've had a little bit of a run lately, so they got to be a little bit excited about that. They got Acuna leading off, and Freeman second spot right now, hitting his 18th home run of the season. That's coming right there in that first inning, which gave them the lead. Charlie Morton goes 7-0 and runs 7 Ks, and he pitched 7 runs, 7 innings of shutout ball, and didn't have to look back with the offensive support. No runs against the Braves. Easily walked to the win here. And Bass only lasts 1 inning, so they were doing like the lead-in pitcher, and Moramando goes 5 in relief of no earned run baseball. But it's the rest of the bullpen that gives up some insurance runs, and the Braves run to a win. Rangers 3, Athletics 2. The A's are starting to worry me on whether they can keep it up. They're starting to lose games in a lot of situations where you would hope they would win. In this one, they're up 2-0, going to the bottom of the 6th, and they gave up a 3 spot to Texas, and that was enough for Texas to take the 3-2 win. No home runs coming from them, just a couple of single hits. Garcia leading the way with 1 hit, 2 RBIs coming in on that 1 hit. On the other side, no home runs again, but Chapman leading the way, 2 hits. Top of the lineup, bottom of the lineup for the A's, not getting anything done. As you can see, some of this is pretty rough. 218 is the highest batting average basically at the bottom, other than Tony Kemp, but he's in the 9 spot. Irvin goes 5, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks. Those earned runs coming in that 6th inning, which he didn't get out of. 3 earned runs, all of them being charged to him. Lyles goes 6, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks. And the save goes to Kennedy, his 15th of the season. Big win for Texas. Plain spoiler. Twins 4, Tigers 2. These guys are just battle of the basement in the American League Central. And Minnesota gets first blood in this one, but they're going to meet again. 4 runs coming in that 6th inning for Minnesota. No home runs. Again, they're just generating these runs. Kepler, 2 hits, 2 RBIs right there in the bottom of the lineup. On the Detroit side of the ball, just a bunch of guys getting single hits. They had 8 hits overall. They out-hit the Twins by double, but they didn't score the runs. Manning goes 5, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks. That's one of his better outings so far. Got to give him a little bit of props there. And Maeda back in action, 5-0 and 7 Ks, looking good. Grossman hits his 12th home run of the season for the Tigers, but it's not enough. It's a 2-run bomb, and that's all the runs that they could score. Moving along, Yankees 4, Astros 0. So the Yankees are visiting Houston, and there's always some heat, some blood between these two teams, considering the cheating scandal with the trash cans and all that. So it's good that the Yankees are going to always step up and play these guys tough, and they really kept them to 3 hits, 0 runs, keeping the Astros down and out. Not an easy task at all. Top of the lineup for the Yankees, a couple multi-hit guys from LeMahieu, Judge, and then Torres in the 5th spot, also having a multi-hit night. Cortez goes 4.20 earned runs, 2 Ks, and then no decision. He's 1 out away from getting this win. Come on, guys. Give him that out. Odorizzi, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks in the loss. Again, a very good outing for Odorizzi. He's been good since he's been back. 103 pitches even. Astros have something good going on there. But they lose the season opener. This is a good series to watch over the weekend. Reds 2, Brewers 0, and this was huge. This is huge. This is huge. The Reds are trying to make up some ground on the Brewers in this division. They're in second right now. They're 4 games above 500, where the Brewers are 16 games above 500. So they have a lot of ground to make up, and after blowing last night's game, this is a big win for them to at least still have a shot at a 3-1 series win over the weekend. No home runs coming in this game, just 6 hits, 2 runs coming. India leading the way, 2 hits at the top of the order, and the rest of the guys, 1s or 0s coming from the Red side. Miley is the hero, going 8 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 4 Ks in the win. He's definitely been the Reds' ace all season long. And Loriger, 6, 1 earned run, 3 Ks in the loss off 1 earned run. How unfortunate, but that's the way baseball shakes. Giants 5, Nationals 3. Giants were at 3-0. Washington tied it up 3-3 at the top of the 4th, and after that, bottom of the 5th, San Francisco took a lead, and they didn't have to look back after that one. Look at all these crazy pinch hits coming from San Francisco. Insane. Casali hits his 3rd of the season, Ruff his 9th, and Flores his 9th. So 3 home runs seems to be the big difference in this, as the Nationals hit 0 on their way to this one. Espinino goes 3.2, 3 earned runs, 1 strikeout, and then the bullpen comes in. They're really starting to miss having a more depth rotation, because I know Espino is kind of designed to be the long-run relief, but on the same side, the Giants had the same kind of problem. They had a guy go 3 innings with Logan Webb, 0 earned runs, 4 Ks, short leash, but they had a bullpen come in, and they used way more guys. 7 guys used to cover 6 innings, whereas Nationals only use 5, and that's a big difference. And Giants take a win here, and the Dodgers, they're going to take a loss against the Diamondbacks 5-2. They were out quick, but Diamondbacks, this is the first time I think they beat the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium since like 2019, I think I read. Maybe it was 2018. It was a large number. Long game, so having them win here, a big step in the right direction. They're just playing spoiler. What else? This series could very well be considered their World Series, so they might come to play. Escobar hits his 20th of the season, and for the Dodgers, Pollock hits his 10th. David Price leading things off. They're really trying to fill that hole with Bauer being out right now. 0 earned runs, 3 Ks. Maybe they'll stretch Price out, but I don't know. 51 pitches, how much they could really stretch him out past that, or if they'd even want to. Widener goes 4.11 and runs 5 Ks for the Diamondbacks. His ERA is 2.54. Something to be good. Diamondbacks, their rotation, their top guys are definitely worthy of MLB starting spots. So Diamondbacks, they're a lot better than what their record says, I would say, at this point in the season. Moving along, we got the Padres 4, Rockies 2. So this National League West, every time you lose like the Dodgers, other teams are going to be winning. So you're going to be losing ground for sure. So every game's going to count. Rockies were at 2-0 early here, but the Padres bounced back, had 1 in the 4th, and then took the lead in the 6th. No home runs, though. It was just generated. Cronenworth, Machado, Pham, all multi-hit nights on the other side. No home runs as well. Just a couple of guys with single hits. 4 hits coming out of the Rockies camp, whereas the Padres put up 10. So that's really a big difference here. Freeland goes 5, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks. Bringing these numbers down, I'm sure. And Kanair, 3.22 earned runs. We're getting to that point in the summer where there's injuries piling up, and we're starting to see names that we don't see very often, like this Kanair guy. I haven't seen him yet. Is this just a spot start? Is he going to continue to eat that role? It's going to be interesting what happens there. But the Padres pick up a much-needed win while everyone else is winning or losing. Mariners 7, Angels 3, and the Angels were at 3-0, putting 1 up in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then Seattle chipped away. They put 2 in the bottom of the 4th, 1 in the 7th, and then it came down to the 8th inning where Mitch Haniger hits a grand salami in the bottom of the 8th to give his team a 4-run lead, which ends up being enough, definitely late in the game, to hold it. He has a 2-hit, 4 RBI night, his 20th home run of the season. On the other side, Fletcher It's his first home run of the season. Ohtani on the mark again with his 33rd of the season. Saw a stat. The last time Fletcher had a game with no hits, Ohtani was at 17 home runs. So that's how many games Fletcher's been on a roll now for. Cobb, 5.10 earned run, 5 Ks. And Gonzalez, 5.23 earned runs and 3 Ks. This is a very important matchup. We can't underrate how big this series is going to be over the weekend. Both these teams are trying to make a mark in the wild card race. The Mariners actually have a lead on the Angels for third spot in this division. So they're really battling for that. And if the Angels had swept these guys, they would be right there in the wild card and in the division. They'd be on another side. Mariners want to show that they are for real. They're not just lucky to this point. So far, so good. Haniger apparently showing his value at trade deadline. But let's be real. The Mariners are in a spot come the trade deadline. Are they really going to trade? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they hold. Not often do you get in a spot late in the season where you have a chance at playoffs, all-star breaks here. This is time for teams to evaluate how things are going. Let me know what you guys think. Who are going to be some of these teams that maybe everyone's talking about them selling, but maybe they're not going to. Like, a lot's going on. MLB's going crazy. This is going to be a great weekend, and we're going up to the All-Star weekend. But that's the Friday review, recap, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for watching. 15 games in the books, and we will see you for the next video.